How's it going, guys? Welcome to the first section where we're actually going to be implementing some code for this application. So right now I have opened in my Visual Studio Code sort of a project which I called Session Auth. Here I'm going to have my backend and front end folders and basically manage the whole application in here. So yeah, I'm running my database right now and I've got to set that up. So I'll do that right now. I'll open up Postgres here. Double click here on Postgres. That'll open a terminal where I'll actually be in Postgres. And that's this one right here because it has this Postgres starting thing here. So let's go ahead and create a database for this project. So create database, and I'll call this session auth, and I'll set the owner to Postgres. And then once you click enter, make sure to have that semicolon. This will create our database called session auth. And there we go. Just like that, you have your database. And then also when you set up the database in Django, you also need a password, and you can set that by doing \password. Then you press enter and then you set up a password. So that's how you do that. And then I'll just quit out of this. All right, so let's get started. I'll go ahead, create a folder called Backend. This is where I'm going to do my backend work. Navigate into that. All right, so first things first, have to create a virtual environment. So right now, my Python version I'm using. So if I do Python 3 -- version, it's 3.7.3. So that's what I'm using. If you use this or higher, you should be just fine. And then to set up the virtual environment, I do Python 3 -m, venv, and venv. So this right here is what's gonna set up the virtual environment, and then this will be the folder that it'll be under. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna navigate into this virtual environment, and from there we're going to install things virtually in here instead of on my global system. So it'll just be within this project. So the way we navigate into here, on Mac, it's source, venv, bin, activate. On Windows, it's slightly different. I forget the exact command, but I can probably write it with editing on here just so you can see. But yeah, just go ahead and navigate into that. And then we can double check the version of Python in here. And there we go. So now if I just write Python, I'm using version 3. All right, so first things first, I need to kind of install Django here. And I'll need 2 more packages as well. I'll need Django Rest Framework. And I'm going to need Django-cores-headers. So Django is just our backend. Django Rest Framework is what we use when we have a front-end framework we're using to communicate with this backend, and then Django Course headers will allow our front end to actually make requests to this backend because they're both going to be running on different ports, and so we want our front end to be able to send requests and receive requests to our backend. And unknown command Django. So I completely forgot to put the install word here, so make sure you have pip install, and then you write these package names. And now it's going to go ahead and install that. All right, so that finished up. And then we're also going to need 2 more packages here. So these are to communicate with PostgreSQL. So we're going to need psycopg2 and psycopg2-binary. Make sure I spell that right. Oop. Binary. There we go. So install these 2 packages, and then we can actually communicate with Postgres with our backend. All right, there we go. So that finished up. Okay, so basically right now, how you'd normally do things is you'd have a manage.py file that you'd run, except right now we don't have that when we just start this application. So we have to do Django admin. And then you can also have some help commands. So Django admin -help gives us all these different commands that we can actually run. And the one that we want to run is start project, which will create our project. So start project. Then we write the name of the project. I'll call it session auth. And then where you want to put it. And I just want to put it in the current directory. So I'll put a dot. So now I'm going to have this manage.py file. I'm going to have my Django project session auth, and then I have my virtual environment. Those are all in my backend folder. And then the session auth has settings and URLs. Now I'm going to want to have two apps. I'm going to have one app, which is accounts. This is going to manage a lot of our account-based requests. So things like logging in, signing up, logging out, and deleting a user. Things like that are all going to be in the accounts app. And then I'm going to have a separate one for the profile. So I'll go ahead and create those. So now to create this stuff, I can instead do Python manage.py. Start app, and then the name of the app. So I'll do one for accounts. So I created this app here for me. And then I'm going to create one for profiles. Now I can't do profile because that's reserved in Django. So I'll just do user profile. And there we go. Now I have two apps. Now let's go ahead and work on some of these settings. So session auth is our project. So I'm going to open up the settings.py. And then under the installed apps, I'm going to want to, first of all, put Django Rest Framework by doing rest_framework. This will utilize Django Rest Framework now in our Django project. I'm going to want CORS headers. So this will set up Django CORS headers for us. Well, it won't set it up, but it'll bring it in and give us access to it. And then we want to bring in the two apps that we just created. So the accounts app, as well as the user profile app. So there we go. Now we have all of these under our installed apps. And now for middleware, the only thing we want to put in here is the CORS headers middleware. So we're going to put that right at the top here. And that's going to be CORS headers dot middleware dot CORS middleware. So that's how you bring in that CORS middleware so that it can be used in here. Then we're going to scroll down to the templates. And this you can either do now or afterwards. The thing is right now, what I want to do here is have this use my React application as a template. So once I have my React app, I run the command npm run build, which creates a sort of production build folder for me where my React app is going to basically be present. And then I can basically point to that here, to that build folder. Now, if I put this in right now, the only issue is that that build folder doesn't currently exist. It's not going to give you any errors, but it's going to give you some warnings. So all you would do is os.path.join base directory build. So our base directory is going to be in this backend folder. And then once we have our React front end, we create that build folder. It's going to go in this backend. And then that's what this is going to look at as the template. So right now it's going to give us a warning, but don't worry about it. The backend's going to be working just fine. So next up, we want to set up the database. So we have the database right here. Now by default, the engine is going to be SQLite 3, but I want it to be PostgreSQL. And then for the name of the database, this is the name that we set up when we created it, which I called session auth. And then we have the user. This is Postgres. And then the password, the one that I set up is password123, but you would put here whatever you set up as your password by doing the \password command when you were in PostgreSQL. And then for the host, we're doing localhost. And then there's a few more settings here to set up. So I'll go right at the bottom here under the static URL. I'm going to have static files directories. This is going to be a list. I'm going to do os.path.join base directory build/static. So this right here is going to collect any additional static files. And when we create our build folder with React, it's going to have a static folder in it. And then we want to collect those static files. And then static root. This is a setting for where our main static folder is going to be present. And that's just going to be an os.path.join base directory static. So it's just going to be right on this level of the backend folder in a folder called static. That's where we want to put it. And then this base directories is just this right here, which gets the directory of where our project is. So that's right in this backend folder. So that's just where this is coming from, in case you were confused about that. And then some additional things that you'd sometimes add are things like the media URL and the media root. If you have things like images, except we don't have any images in this application, so I probably won't put those settings. Then we have REST Framework. This is something we need to put to set up Django Rest Framework. And we're going to have default permission classes. This is going to be a list. And then for our permission classes, so this right here is going to be what our views have by default for their permission. And I'm going to have REST Framework dot permissions dot is authenticated. And then this should be permissions, not permission. And then is authenticated. Okay, that looks good. So basically our views by default, we want the user to have to be authenticated to access them. And then if we don't, if we have a view that we have someone who we want them to access without having to be authenticated, then basically we're gonna have to set the permission in the view itself. So that way when someone makes an API request where they don't need to be authenticated, then the view will have that handle it. So default authentication classes. This is going to be REST framework dot authentication dot session authentication. So there we go. So now that's all set up. So now by default, the scheme that we're using is the built-in session authentication in Django Rest Framework. So that is what we're going to tackle here. And then the last setting I'm going to put is for our CORS headers. So CORS origin, whoops, not original, origin, allow all. And I'm going to set that to true. So this will just make it so for many other ports, we can go ahead and make API requests here. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video, just these settings. And then in the next video, we're going to start tackling the rest of this. So make sure to absolutely destroy the crap out of that like and subscribe button for me. And I will see you in the next video.